From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth at Tommy Max, of course, my bar where everybody's welcome to have a seat and tell their story. Brought to you by our good friends at Dasher and Hot Spring Spas of Jackson. We're going to talk a little AI this time around and also hear about a way that maybe you can live pain-free. Let's welcome in the panel. George Swetlitz is here from Right Response AI. Hi, George. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about Right Response AI.
Yeah, so Right Response AI. Right Response AI was started about a year ago.
Okay.
Right when ChatGPT came out. Prior to that, I was the CEO of a 220 location audiology clinic group.
Okay.
And one of the things that we were always frustrated with was dealing with all the reviews that came in and making sense of all the information that was coming in. And we thought AI could really help us do that better.
Okay.
And so everyone's familiar with review management, Google reviews, any location-based business, a doctor, a lawyer, a restaurant, a
gym, whatever.
Gym.
Yep.
Everyone has reviews. And what's important about reviews is that, I like to say, the reviews are the first impression. These days, everyone reads reviews. Everyone reads responses to reviews.
Yep.
And the question is, how do you do that when you're a small business or a big business? You know, reading and responding to reviews is not what you like to do. You like to run the business.
Correct.
And so the question is, how can you use AI to do that in a smart way? And that's what we have spent the last year figuring out.
Right. Because answering the reviews or acknowledging them helps you move up the Google map chain, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Gets you more recognized.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, reviews have three important functions. First is, if you can get up the top of the Google Map pack, people are going to call you rather than you having to advertise to bring them in. Second, reviews are free. People are telling you things about your business that you can use to improve and get better reviews.
Okay.
And third, they're the way that you talk to customers who've never come to your business.
Yeah.
Right? They read the reviews.
Yeah, sure.
We did some research on our own, talked to a lot of customers, consumers, and they said that 78% said that the response to a review, think a negative review, is meaningful to them and will change the way they think about the business if it's personalized and is informative.
Okay.
And so AI helps you do that in a way that you can continue running your business and spending
it
all
helps
day.
you with time and all that kind of stuff, be more efficient. Cool.
Yeah.
Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, great to be here.
Mitchell Yass is here from the Yass Method and the Yass Global Enterprises. How are you?
Excellent. Wonderful to be here.
It's great to have you here. Tell us about the Yass Method. You're talking about pain-free movement in a way that you found through your own trials and tribulations. Tell us your story.
So 30 years ago, I went to physical therapy school. That last semester, you're actually going to treat people.
Yep.
And I can only tell people that the way I've come about this, I feel I've been compelled by a higher power. So at that time, I was told to ask people, can you point to where your pain is, as I was doing my evaluation. And when I asked them to point to where their pain was, it was not where it should be. If the identified structural abnormality was to cause pain, like a herniated disc, arthritis, stenosis, so a classic example, someone has pain around their kneecap. Okay, they're told that they have a torn meniscus as the cause. The problem is that the meniscus lies between the thigh bone and lower leg bone, and the pain they're having is at the joint between the kneecap and the thigh bone, a completely separate joint. So if you're willing to accept that a structure of one joint can cause pain at another joint, then you're willing to accept arthritis at the ankle can cause elbow pain. You wouldn't accept that, would you?
No,
That's psycho.
Right.
So is this, completely psycho.
Okay.
So I continue to treat people, and I continue to see that in almost every case where their pain is not where it should be if that structural abnormality was to cause pain. So I have to begin to say, what is the validity of these diagnostic tests? So I begin to say, what's real is the symptom itself. The symptom is coming from the tissue in distress. So if I could interpret the symptoms, I'll know what tissue is creating that symptom. And over 98% of cases I've treated now over 30 years, the cause is muscular. The reason this is so important is because muscular causes will not show up on diagnostic tests.
No, right.
So you strain your lower back muscle, You get an MRI saying you have stenosis. From here to eternity, you get treated for that stenosis.
Yep.
You continue to try to function, continue to strain your low back muscle, so you have chronic pain infinitum.
Okay.
All because you've never been diagnosed appropriately. That muscular cause I can fix and have you pain-free in under 2 to 3 weeks.
And how do you do that? Like just through different therapies, or what?
So again, God spoke to me and told me that weightlifting had something to do with physics because you're pushing against gravity and that's a force vector. So I began to apply the laws of physics to weightlifting. Okay. And I've literally analyzed every exercise for any body part that you want, any muscle. And because of the complete isolation I get, my understanding of how to progress resistance, I can make any muscle stronger in weeks. And ultimately, the reason you're having your pain is because the force outputs of your muscles are not equivalent to the force requirements of your activity. You push against gravity for everything you do.
Right.
Even lifting this beer, this delightful, enjoyable beer.
Right.
Right? That takes strength.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if I don't have the strength for that activity, those muscles are going to strain and elicit pain.
Okay.
So I have to figure out which muscles are responsible for that activity, strengthen them up till the force output is greater than the force requirement of activity. You are pain-free, fully functional.
What if, so just using me as an example, so I don't like calling it pain, but discomfort in my body.
Yes.
I have probably multiple areas.
Yes.
Not probably, I do.
Yes.
So could they all come from one thing, or?
Yes. So
how do you find that? Like my knee hurts, my back hurts.
Oh, you just hit on the one I was just going to give the example for.
I tore both
How many
thighs.
how many people have back and knee pain at the same time? So what are they going to do?
Ooh.
They're going to go to a back specialist,
Yep.
and they're going to go to a knee specialist.
Yep.
Not recognizing that since the symptoms are occurring at the same time, isn't there a higher probability there's a mutual cause?
Yep.
I'll tell you what the cause is. Your front thigh muscles are too strong in relationship to your back thigh muscles, and they've shortened.
Okay.
They attach to your pelvis on
Yep,
top,
they do.
causing you to excessively arch your lower back and cause that to strain.
Right.
They're pulling up excessively on your kneecap, so when you bend your knee, your
Yep.
kneecap's compressed.
Right.
So you have knee pain and back pain from one cause. Shortened, overstrengthened quads. Strengthen your
Got it.
hamstrings and your calf muscle, maybe your glute max muscle. Boom, done. 2 weeks, pain-free.
That's great. That's fantastic. George, are you in any pain at all? Do you have any pain? I mean,
Well,
do you
I was going to ask if these muscle things can cause tinnitus.
Tinnitus, good question.
Oh,
That's a very common thing.
Yeah.
So the important thing, because I had mentioned earlier
Yep.
that I had a tumor. It led some scar tissue. That scar tissue is compressing my external canal in my ear. So in fact, I do have tinnitus.
Okay.
So tinnitus is a symptom. Everyone should understand it's a symptom. It's not a cause. There are multiple causes.
Okay.
So I do believe that someone who has forward head and shoulder posture could cause a muscle that attaches to this point here, which is right behind the ear, may alter the forces around the ear and cause it. But you obviously have to go through a full diagnostic panel to understand maybe there's a tumor or something.
Yeah, right.
But I can tell you this, in massaging this out with an appropriate solvent, the tinnitus is almost gone.
Wow, fantastic.
So unfortunate.
Well, keep up the great work,
Thank
man.
you.
That's fascinating. I think we could go on for a long time figuring out your methods and all that, but appreciate you both being here and keep up the great work. Make sure you check out their great profiles. This conversation and many others, many others at the dailynewsnetwork.com website. Till next time, stay safe and be cool out there and get pain-free. We'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The coach should be going to bed at night thinking about the athlete and how they're going to help that athlete improve. They shouldn't be worrying about how am I going to quantify their improvement, or am I going to have to keep up with all this information? Those things that are kind of background to the coach focusing there on the athlete. And so what Dasher does is it takes all those side things away, allowing the coach to focus then on the athlete.